Welcome to my series that I've named The Hauntings. 5-minute snippets of history and hauntings. I'm starting with the Wollondilly area, and although it may be cliche to link some of Wollondilly's most historic spaces and places with hauntings, being that Picton, Wollondilly's capital for want of a better euphemism, is known as the most haunted town in Australia. My reasoning, I wanted to get these stories out there, get a bit of a following, so thank you to those who are following, in readiness for the next series I put together. Now, where is Wollondilly? Wollondilly is affectionately known as the Dilly by us locals. It is filled with Aboriginal history, beautiful spaces, historic architecture and many stories. The name Wollondilly means a place where spirits dwell or water trickles over rocks. The earliest known inhabitants of the area were natives of the Gundungurra tribe. The Dilly is located at the southwestern fringes of the Sydney metropolitan area, about 75 kilometres from Sydney CBD in Australia. I have lived in Wollondilly for more than 22 years and I adore this space. The first spaces in the Dilly I will cover in my haunted series are Vault Hill and Jarvisfield. These places are both located in Picton. Vault Hill is located on private property, and the only photograph I've been able to source was from a newspaper article back in November of 1980. Vault Hill is a private cemetery. It consists of a number of headstones, vault and iron enclosures surrounded by mature trees. Unfortunately, the newspaper article was covering a story about vandalism. Vandals attacked Antill tomb. It was the third attack on the burial area, which prompted the family to seal the tomb with concrete to stop any further vandalism. The vault is the burial place for Major Henry C Antill and 12 close members of the family. I haven't personally seen the cemetery and surrounds. As I said, they are on private property. This place is said to be haunted by members of the Antill family. Henry Antill was an early settler to the Picton area. Vault Hill overlooks his home Jarvisfield. The name and location of Jarvisfield has historic connections to the first white settlement of the area. The village known today as Picton was originally called Jarvisfield by Captain Henry Colden Antill when first granted land in 1822 by Governor Brisbane. Captain Henry Colden Antill came to Australia with the 73rd Regiment. In 1822, the captain was given a grant of land in Picton, which he built a small cottage on. I have been unable to locate this small cottage, so my assumption is that it no longer exists. In later years, his eldest son, John Macquarie Antill, built a larger home. This home still stands today and is heritage listed. This building now houses the clubhouse for Antill Park Country Golf Club. As the eldest son, John inherited Jarvisfield in 1858, and in 1864 he built a new homestead there for his family. John and his wife Jessie, who died at Jarvisfield, are buried on the Jarvisfield Estate in the Antill Family Vault. The property is said to be haunted by 3 ghosts. A girl approximately 12 years old who apparently spent 181 years in the house but is there no longer. An old man who had been holding her there for company, and another unknown entity. There have apparently been some strange happenings at the Jarvisfield Estate over the years. Some of these weird occurrences include changes in temperature, dark and quiet and not welcoming, feeling ill when entering particular rooms and hearing loud noises from empty doors or rooms, doors closing or slamming on their own with no evidence of a breeze. A jukebox in a games room would come to life and play music, and EMF detectors would spike. Back to Vault Hill, where Henry Antill is buried. Remembering that Jarvisfield was owned by the Antill family and Henry Antill is buried on a hill overlooking Jarvisfield and much of Picton, it is interesting that Henry Antill is buried, allegedly upright at his own request, so that he could better overlook his domain. His domain is now a very different place, and I wonder what Henry would think of his domain now. This has been the first in a series titled The Hauntings. I hope you will persevere with me and follow along, hopefully learning some history along the way wrapped up in the haunting stories that have come out of a little place in Western Sydney called Picton. You can follow me on YouTube at 1L4293, that's WNELLE. Keep your eyes open for the next instalment where I will discuss the Mushroom Tunnel in detail.